At the crossroads of Highway 20 and Highway W sits a quiet little community where you can walk to the post office to pick up your mail or drink a cup of coffee while waiting for the boys to load up your feed at the local mill. When you're in Missouri, you know you're home. Welcome to Alma.
Welcome into September here in Alma, Missouri, where harvest is about to be in full swing. We're getting ready to start chopping our cornfields, and then by next month we'll be able to harvest the rest of our corn along with our 2 soybean fields that are coming up. So let me get down and let's get started. Now that we are still renting this forage harvester, we're going to go ahead and we're going to chop more of our corn this year than we did last year, so that we can get it in our fermenter, in our harvester system, get it fermented, and then we're going to sell some this year because we're a little short on money. We are currently down to just $64,000. We need a lot more to be able to do any real spending here, but I want to set up horseplay on this, and we'll grab the Massey and our wagon, and we'll start chopping this because we got the Challenger over there. If you can see in the distance, he's cultivating that field. But let me get this one started up and we'll start chopping corn. Since our last episode, I have updated this map. Unfortunately, it did cause a little issue. Right now, our cow barn, we can't put straw in it, so that's one problem. So we can't make manure. But one other thing that did come up with that update, now you can make some some alfalfa silage with a fermenter. So I would like to start doing that. Unfortunately, the mod to do it, I think it was $100,000, but it takes up a lot of space. I always go too fast with this chopper, I don't know why. So we can't really use up much space. I'm hoping I can find a different mod that'll allow me to do alfalfa, to be able to ferment it, so we can make some that way. Boy, I gotta get rid of some of that trash. Oh, come on, keep going. Well, let me circle around and try this again. Not going to be much room to get through there anyhow. But I'll get a couple headlands done here, and we'll take all this to our fermenter, and we'll see what we can do. Actually, I could probably just run behind him. Probably work just fine. But I'll get some of these headlands done, and then we'll get some silage made. Well, I don't even know if we're going to get one complete headland done. This is actually the 5th load. We hold 52,000 liters each time around, or each full trailer. I think that's going to be more than enough chaff even to sell it. It'll be fine. We still had over 100,000 liters left from last harvest, so I might just call it quits here with this and let this corn finish growing. And then next month we can finish harvesting it. So let me just get rid of that guy here. He's done. Oop. I still had flight mode on. Get back into this tractor and let me run this back up. We'll put it in the fermenter, get it fermented, and we might grab a bigger trailer and start selling off what we had last year that's already fermented. I'm actually started feeding the cattle more alfalfa and less of the total mixed ration. Really, their health was just as good by just feeding the alfalfa to them, and as long as they keep growing, that's all that really matters to me. But let me get this one dropped off. And we should have enough money to be able to lease a bigger trailer to haul more than just 52,000 liters to town. I'll probably get a TLX branded trailer that can hold 200,000 liters, so we can get about 4 of these in each run. I'll drop this off and spend some money. Well, I actually don't have the mod I thought I had in my list, so we're going to go with this one instead. Then we can just pull it with our dually pickup. I mean, it'll hold 182,000. That's pretty close to what I wanted anyhow, and it's only 19,500. So I'm going to go with that. And we'll just probably everything is fine. And let's put some mud flaps on it. Branding, we don't need it. We'll still keep gooseneck. Colors, they're all fine. All right. One thing we're going to find out about this is if we're going to have enough to make this worthwhile to pay for all the extra silage equipment we have by renting that chopper and then buying this trailer. We'll find out how much money we can make to see if we need to chop more of it, or if we actually need to get rid of the chopper. There's other things we can do. We could take this grass and we could put it in the fermenter and make silage with it too. We don't have to use the corn. We already own the corn dryer, so I mean that's a big money maker right there. So I want to get as much corn as I can off this field to be able to dry it and make twice as much. So let me finish filling this up, then we will run it to town. Well, it's a good thing I didn't get a bigger trailer yet, because I couldn't even fill this one all the way. But we do have 254,000 liters of chaff still in here fermenting. So we will take this part, we will sell it, and then we could always sell another load if we wanted to. We have plenty of bales and enough chaff still in there to make silage for ourselves. Or like I said, we could always mow some grass. Let me get this to the livestock market and see what we can get out of it. As I was driving to town, I was wondering if I was to get the quick baler, could I wrap those alfalfa bales next time we mow our alfalfa field? So we could do that. Boy, 83,000, that's really good. I think we might just run another one of these loads to town when it's done fermenting. But yeah, anyhow, back to my story about the bales. If I could wrap those and have those ferment, I mean, that would come in handy. Then I wouldn't have to worry about trying to find a fermenter that would work. Looks like that lady is stuck behind those guide wires. Can't even get around. Something that would work to make some silage out of all that alfalfa. Because we have so many, hay bales right now out of alfalfa. It'd be nice to be able to also create some silage bales from them. I know it takes a little bit longer to ferment than this fermenter that we're using, but I mean, wait a couple months, that's okay. We're gonna have to wait probably another month anyhow to have enough for another full load. Excuse me. But let me go back and we will get the chopper put up, because I don't think we're gonna chop anymore today. And we will wait for the Challenger to get done cultivating that field, and we will go to sleep, and then we'll get to harvesting in October. See you next month. Well, we made it to October. Unfortunately, now it's wanting to rain. Now we gotta wait a few hours for the rain to stop, so we don't have any kind of lost productivity. Oh, looks like I still need to wash that bean head over there. It's still filthy. But we did do a little shopping. We bought this attachment to a slurry tank. We're going to start spreading some slurry. But right now we don't have the money for, this slurry tank. So we have a lot of liquid manure. So now I'll just get set up in the cornfield and wait for the rain to calm down. The neighbor harvested all his peas already. That was one field I was hoping to be able to have enough money to buy, but not this time around. Let me get up here and get ready for this one. Well, as we continue to wait for the rain to stop, which according to the calendar it's almost done, we decided to start planting some rye in this field. Got some lime going at the same time. The reason we have more money now is because we ended up selling the semi and the trailer, since we're going to start using the Dodge Dually with the fifth wheel to haul our grain around. Because it actually holds more than what our semi-trailer did, since it's modded and kind of a cheaty type deal, but I think it'll come in a lot more handy and saves us a lot of money. Plus now we have over $200,000. So now we're going to be able to buy that slurry spreader. So as soon as the rain stops, we'll start that combine up and get him going and start running some corn to town to dry. So see you when the rain stops. Well, we are now full swing into our corn harvest. He's got one headland finished up and started on a second one. We're done liming our old field in the middle. Now we just got to get the rest of the seed in the ground. Looks like it runs right through the machine. Not sure if this is fully fertilized or not. Let's see. Well, it says it needs lime. Oh no, it don't. It looks like it's fully fertilized and just needs rolling, but we never roll our field, so there he goes. We got enough. We'll finish filling this up and take it to our new fifth wheel trailer. next season we are going to break down, either get a loan for a new combine, or at the very least get a lease on a new one, because I don't like filling up all the time like this. I want a higher capacity. When we do corn, it fills up way too fast, especially since we've upgraded our trailer to 185,000 liters. We need to get something bigger for our auger wagon and our combine. Let me go back, and he's already full, so she's not too far away. But we'll finish filling our fifth wheel pickup here, and we will run that to our grain dryer. Well, I was just talking about, upgrading this combine to a bigger one. That's when I was looking to see what I was going to get. I looked in here, and this combine can actually be modded to 50,000 liters. So it'll be big enough. We just have to go in here and, customize it, get the bigger grain tank. Let's see, 25, 50,000. So it's going to add another $22,000 to the expense. No, it's not. Actually, that's for the tracks. So it doesn't raise the price at all for the grain tank. So we're just going to go mod it as soon as we're done with this field. I'm not going to do it in the middle of harvest, but I will do it before we go on to the next field. Well, now that it's starting to get dark, we finally got to 97%. Now we still got quite a little bit of field left, but we got through a big chunk of it. I'm sure we're 3/4 of the way done already. But we're close enough to full. Let's just run it to town while the combine fills up again. I really can't wait till we expand that capacity to 50,000 liters. It's just filling up too quick right now. I actually started just using the pickup and fifth wheel to go empty the combine. That went a lot faster too than using that grain cart, so I'll probably end up selling the grain cart. Really don't need it anymore. If we end up wanting a grain cart, we could always get a bigger one. I'm going to run this to town and hopefully get it offloaded before it gets too dark, and then we'll go back and finish combining that cornfield. Welcome into November. Late last night we were able to finally get all of our corn done. We actually have partial load over there still in the trailer right now that we put away just in case it rained last night. We're going to get this thing set up in the soybean field, and then as we run that to corn, I see we're also out of propane in the dryer. I need to get into town and get that filled back up so he can be going again to dry all of this corn. But I thought before I do any of that, I would like to get this soybean field started. Alright, now that he's going good, we're actually going to do a straw off of this soybean field this time. Get a little extra money out of the bales, but we will run to town and take the rest of that corn in. Here we are back at the corn dryer, and there's our little propane tank we need to go refill. Get this dumped off, then we will spin over there and grab it. Ooh, it's something. Oh, I haven't tried delivering in this before. Looks like those gates are going to collide with something. See if I can go on past it. Maybe it won't hit delivering it here. There, it misses. Whew, a little worried. Like, we just used this trailer earlier to deliver a load. Don't know what the difference was. All right, go ahead and drop it off. Get that propane tank. If my memory serves correctly, the propane comes from the gas station. Go ahead and go over there. Hope I'm remembering it correctly. It's not too far away. Okay, this is the livestock market, which we do have some of those calves. They're a year old now, so we are probably going to be bringing those on the next episode. So this is the turn to get them sold off. So I believe they're around $600 right now. If I get the right one. Oh, I filled the pickup up. There we go. Filling propane. And $6 to fill the pickup. It wasn't too bad. It costs a lot more for me to fill up my minivan than that. $5,000 for propane. Let me get this back to the dryer and get it topped off. Alright, propane going in, another 5,000 liters, so that should be enough to get it going. I said I was going to top it off, but that doesn't top it off. That just gets it started. Check the numbers. Now that should be enough to be able to dry all that corn. Well, I hope. Maybe not. We might need to get more propane. But this will be enough to get us through probably today. So let me get back to the farm. I think we have some grain to sell also. Guess we won't be hauling that new grain to town quite yet because our combine's already full. I forgot all about upgrading its size, so it's still the 14,000 liter capacity instead of the 50,000 like I wanted. I told you I was going to do that before I started the soybeans, so I forgot all about it. I'll get in here and use this to unload what I do have. I think before I sell all these bales, I'm going to end up getting a different pickup wagon. Some auto load wagon that we can take more than just the 14 that this will hold. I would like to get more to town. I wish I would have kept that semi now, because that would have came in handy, because then I could have loaded it up with these straw bales. But I got rid of it. I do still have the auger wagon. I got to get rid of it still. That'll get us over the $200,000 for sure. Looks like the combine is full again, so let me get up here in the pickup and go empty him off again. Well, this first soybean field yield is 43,000 liters. So we'll see what the other one's going to do. I don't think it's quite as big of a field, so I won't expect as many. We'll put this in the bin. I got the bin set up before I start picking up those bales. I used the Challenger to move the auger around. Kind of an overkill tractor, a little bigger than needed to just move an auger, but everything else is kind of tied up at the moment. Let me unload this, and we should be able to call it a day. Well, that should do it for this episode here in Alma, Missouri. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to slap that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. So until next time, have a blessed day, and bye-bye.
Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage.